Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the Tactical Baby Gear Podcast. I'm your host, Beeve Brody, and we've got Alex with us as usual. In this episode, we talk about a few random things, and then we answer a bunch of questions from you guys from Instagram. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. What do prisoners use to call each other?
What do prisoners
use to call each other? Cell phones.
I was going to say cell phones.
What's up, dude?
Taking away my turn to ruin your joke.
I stole the punchline from you. How's it going? What's new and exciting?
Tired.
Are you?
Parenting is tough.
I'm coming off a long weekend myself. I was a little stressed out. It's been a long few days at our house so my oldest daughter, who's almost 8, is like reliving her 2 and 3-year-old days where she feels the need to be in our room all the time. And this was an ongoing battle until probably 2 a.m. last night.
It was an ongoing battle until 2 a.m.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, it was rough. And this has been happening for like the last 4 or 5 nights.
And how'd you put a stop to it?
I'm not giving in.
So when you said 2 a.m., like you just grab her and take her back to her room?
It was like hyperventilating, crazy, like just screaming, crying back and forth. There's been a few nights where like we let her sleep on the floor in our room, but like I'm not giving in to someone at that age to be like, okay, come get in my bed, like you might do with a super young one that you're like still trying to figure out life. But at this point, like we've already established whose bed is whose here. You have your bed, I have mine. I'm not dealing with this. Been there, done that. Ain't happening again. You're going back to your bed. And it's like, and then it becomes every excuse. But my stomach hurts, or I'm scared, or nightmare, and like one excuse after the other.
So you know it's my fault.
What'd you do?
You brought your kids to my three-nager's birthday party.
Three-nager.
And they've reverted back to being 3 because mine are just wearing me out.
Right.
I just ran home to help them out during lunch and pick them up from school and getting them to nap. They used to love nap, and it's just,
forget about it now.
You know, like
there's a point where they quit
tantrum.
Napping, and you're like, why can't you just keep napping forever?
We're trying to drag it on to at least 4.
Yeah.
Like we're trying really
you
hard.
have a better chance.
Quiet time. You don't have to nap, but quiet time. Like
you have
in your
a
room.
better chance than most because you guys are so good and so strict with scheduling. Where like we just don't live that life.
I tell you, I mean, just full out like we'll go from it's like and I don't make light of saying bipolar, but because people obviously it's a serious condition for people out there. But it seems like it's like a Jekyll and Hyde. They make the light bulb switches. You're going from reading Pete the Cat to
full.
And it's like wait, I'm
meltdown.
What just happened?
Yeah,
here? So
crazy.
Just tired from as all you parents know, it's grinding.
Yes.
To stay the course and not give in. Oh, you want X toy, but I told you no, so and it's nap time, and so by saying no, they're just gonna freak out. But
meltdown, yeah.
You get one chance at asking for that water afterwards.
Yep. I took a page out of your book last night. I was like, you want to do this the easy way or the hard way?
Yeah. Actually, I got that from my sister-in-law.
Right.
Yeah, with their youngest, who's now 7.
Right.
Yeah, it was always like, you want to do this the easy way or the hard way? And I was like, that's a good nugget. That's a good nugget.
Store that one away.
So
Mom
it's, you want to do it, option A or B. So they get a choice. It's just, you're choosing to go to timeout or you're choosing to do it the easy way.
Yep. Cool. So, well, I knew that, these people may not want to listen to us talk about our lives all the time. So on Instagram, I asked you guys to put in some questions on stories, and I would answer them here on the podcast. So Alex and I are kind of tight on time today. We've got a bunch of meetings and other things happening. So this will probably be a little bit of a quicker episode, and I'm going to grab a handful. I'm going to choose. I've probably got couple dozen questions here, so I'm going to choose 3 or 5 questions. We'll get some answers and see what we can kind of get through, and we'll kind of go from there. So I'm scrolling through a few of these, and here's a good one. What's the biggest struggle for parents today, in your opinion? I think this will be good. We can kind of answer from 2 different perspectives.
Gosh,
I know. Yeah, that's a tough one. I don't know why I started with that one. That's some deep stuff. I don't think that there's any difference in struggles today versus any other era. I mean, maybe with the internet and things have changed and people being kind of exposed to things sooner than maybe they should. But I don't know that it's a struggle. It's just different parenting. The biggest struggle for parents today, and this was asked, by the way, by Shane Coates. Shane, thank you for your question. I don't know. That's a tough one.
Yeah.
I struggle daily, and it's like, depending on their age, like this is the struggle, and then at this age, this is the struggle, and it just continuously changes. But
because I feel like the worries of parenting doesn't necessarily change either over time. It's just different scenarios, right? You go from, could you imagine the questions or the feelings that parents had during World War II? It's like, oh shoot,
yeah, I mean,
what's
crazy.
going on there? And so there's, that's a different kind of, maybe a more foreign remove, but the threat was, could invasions happen over here? And so now you're different with, can I go to the theater with my kids in a safe environment? Can they go to the playground? But you always had. I think there's always been things. It's just there's more access to news. So I guess it's more of how do you, in my opinion, or at least what I've been recently with. So to people that don't know my story, I've got 2 3-year-olds now. They just turned 3 and a 1-year-old. And so for me, it's how do you just start to navigate to give them enough self-confidence without watching over their shoulder completely, to where they can start to make intelligent choices while navigating the fact that someone could snap a photo of you in a precarious situation that you would have gotten away with a long time ago. So whether that was just,
you mean like running through a red light?
Yes, but
I got a ticket in the mail yesterday from what they're saying. I ran through a red light, so it's just funny. It's like snapping a photo.
No, like think about it. You're
with.
Playing soccer, right? And you slide tackle, and your pants come up real, and someone could snap a photo and share that. Now, like just silly, stupid stuff. Right. That's like before you wouldn't have to think about. You could make silly faces, but just giving them the confidence, but like they're not fully developed, so. How do you try to balance making sure your kid's secure enough and confident enough and figuring out some things on their own, that life's not just easy, stuff's just not handed out to you. But so that to me, it's more just like, how do you give them that, since, like you said, the internet exposes so much?
Yeah, it's like a lot of people, I think, want to say technology is like this big elephant in the room. And it is a big elephant in the room. But as much as it could be a struggle, especially with young ones in technology and what they're seeing online and all this stuff, but it's also... you've got more opportunity than ever before for them to succeed in life because of technology. So it kind of swings both ways.
Right. It's just navigating it because it hasn't been around forever. And so I guess it'd be more the fact that life seems to be accelerating at such a rapid pace, just because, beforehand it'd be like, if you're going to grandma's, hop in the car, it's 15-hour, drive. And like, there's just those different things. You're kind of bored in the car. So you got to I spy a cow, you know what I mean? Like, whereas now, you're constantly connected to the internet. But for me, the struggle is just more just how to navigate raising your kids in the environment that's changing seemingly so rapidly.
I don't disagree with that. I think that's probably the biggest thing, is just kind of learning to navigate, because as we talked about from the beginning, there's no instruction manual, handbook, guide on how to do it. So it's just an ever-changing landscape that you just have to continue and to adapt and overcome. And sometimes you're going to make the right decision. Sometimes you're going to make the wrong decision. And that's just what it is. I mean, it's tough. So I don't know if there's any one answer. And I think that this is going to be a similar theme going forward as I read through some of these questions that there's no right answer to. So here's a good one. My husband is a first-time dad and very tactical. What can I tell him to expect? This question is from QTH16. I don't know your name, QTH16. I'm sorry, but thank you for your question. Again, that's my husband is a first-time dad and very tactical. What can I tell him to expect?
Expect to learn patience.
Patience. Holy smokes.
Didn't have that much. I thought I was a patient person, but
patience, a lack of sleep for a while. And I don't know if you're having a boy or a girl. I think that's a kind of an interesting, different perspective that you and I have. You've got boys, I've got girls. So it's kind of like different. We play in a different landscape, even just in that regard.
It really is a complete 180, because you all of a sudden, things that you wanted to do or thought you didn't have time for, but now you realize, wow, I had all this time, and I get like for me it was just a complete mind shift of when you had the kids that like, I can't just go and do whatever I wanted to do because I was being respectful of dividing and conquering between we had twins first, so that kind of gives me a little different perspective, I think, as well. But just if you wanted to work late or something, but now in my case, like the wife was home with the kids when I was still working in the beginning, so I was like, well, I can't just come home at 6:00 because she's been with the kids for 12. I mean, that's just absurd, so
Right.
just kind of your whole schedule just gets changed. And so I guess I would just say more to welcome the change as opposed to trying to fight it, or else you're just going to be
Setting
unhappy,
yourself up for
and that's
failure.
not fair to the kids. That's not fair to your spouse or
For sure.
significant other.
All right.
Well, that and learn how to change diapers, and I always used like some sort of butt paste, Desitin.
Yeah.
Just change it, lather it up, prevent some diaper rash. No one wants a screaming baby because of diaper rash.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if there's anything else great to tell them to expect. Like, expect the unexpected.
Yeah.
Like, literally,
you expect. I mean, so one thing that I guess I'll kind of go here was, everyone, at least on social media, always tries to paint such this magical picture, and I appreciate why the parents want to try to do that, but just realize that that's not reality. They're staging that because you're like when the baby's first born, it's a magical moment, but like the mother just went through a traumatic, birthing a child is traumatic on the body. And so they're beat up, they're tired,
it's not all rainbows and butterflies.
Yeah, so it's like, they just went through this, huge experience. Hormones are up and down. Your hormones are up and down because you're like, this baby's crying. I don't know how to handle it because, well, you've never had to experience that before. And so I would just, completely lost my train of thought. I had a flashback to my first. The reason was I just had
shell shock.
No, I just had a complete flashback to me being in the hospital. So we had twins, and it was one of those. We went in for a scheduled. We went in for an induction because she was twins. It was 38 weeks. That's full term for twins, and so we went in at like 8 a.m. and it was like, they didn't come to break the water until like 5 p.m. and then the kids delivered at like, what was it, like a little after 3 a.m. So it's this long day, like she hasn't eaten anything, and then she goes in for a C-section because she got all the way to the end, and then they were fighting to get out, and we had to do a C. Thankfully, it wasn't emergency, but it just needed to be done. And so we're in the hospital. I think it was the second night, because you had to stay in hospital for I think 72 hours if you have a C-section. So it was the second night. You got two little, aliens, right? You you don't know what to do with it, and all these, on social media, right? It's always like, oh, just the baby latched right on, and everyone's get rainbows and butterflies, and it's like, no, the mother doesn't know what she's doing if she's trying to nurse. The kid doesn't know, the baby doesn't know what they're doing. So it's a struggle. You're trying to find it.
Shit show.
And you're like, well, is it getting enough to eat? I don't know if it's getting enough to eat. They're crying. What do I do? And so we literally had both of them crying. It was like 4 a.m. Like we still hadn't slept because of everything from the day before. And I just remember being like, I don't know what to do. You're just like freaking out. And so you just had to take a step back and be like, okay, they cry. So I guess that's it too. Kids cry, and they cry because they're hungry or whatever else. But when you're not used to a baby's cry, you set your nerves on fire because you're like, oh my God, I'm the dad. I need to protect this kid, this alien that's come into my life, and that I have.
And you don't understand what they
lived,
need.
30 plus years before this thing came into my life, and now all of a sudden I got this weird protective feeling, but yet yesterday I didn't have it.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And so it was just, anyways, I had that flashback when I was trying to just say that, basically, try not to judge yourself against other parents that you might see, online, and simply just realize that you're going to need patience, and it's natural. I guess where I was going with that is it's natural to feel like you have this unconditional love for this thing, but yet it's it's not, I guess it's okay in the way I view it is you lived a life up until this point, and now things are changing. But it's like
embrace the change.
Embrace the change, but it's not bad to feel like, okay, well, like yesterday I didn't have a baby, and today I have a kid, and so like it takes time. It takes time to just readjust to bring lifestyle. That person to just again, everyone on the line's like, oh, my life's changed over, instantly. I've got this magical connection. And if you don't have this magical connection to your child and a perfect nursing, then you're a horrible parent or mother or dad. It's like, no, like no one wants to talk about the fact that like I didn't carry it for 9 months. The mother has a much deeper connection. Like as soon as that baby's born, I love my newborn child. I'm going to do anything for it just instantly. But yet like it takes time to adapt to have that same bond. And it's okay to express that, and I think too many people don't want to. So it's like, I guess I'm addressing some of the people that are like, am I a bad person for just, having sort of that moment of like, I feel love for this. I called it thing because it's like, well, all of a sudden there's a magical thing in front of you that is a baby. But to just allow time to just change to your new life and develop that bond, that love that the mother had for 9 months or 8 months or however long.
For sure. You all that crazy stuff you were talking about made me reminded me of why we made that Embrace the Suck shirt, which we had to we're not really doing a lot of shirts these days, but if we did, I'd bring that one back. Embrace the suck.
Because there's nothing wrong with it. It's just part of the process.
For sure. Okay, here's another one. This is from ARod164. What is the most important thing to pack in my TBG bag for the hospital? ARod, I would tell you, you don't have to focus as much on stuff for the baby as you would think, because the hospital is going to provide literally everything you need for the baby, except for like a going home outfit. Make sure you bring the car seat. But the most important stuff to really pack in a hospital bag, in my opinion, is more stuff for you and your wife. Entertainment for you guys. Make sure you have plenty of changes of clothes. You're going to be there for several days. Clean underwear, all your toiletries, socks, bring pajamas, whatever. You're going to be living in the hospital for several days. The hospital is going to provide literally pretty much everything you need for the baby. They're equipped. They're set up. Diapers, literally, pro tip, hoard diapers from the hospital. They'll keep bringing you stacks of diapers and just start stashing them, because once they bring them to you, they can't reuse them. They can't give them to someone else. There's sanitary things involved. So once they put them in the room and they give them to you, they're not taking them and giving back to someone else. So just keep stashing them. You can take some diapers
by a few days from when you get home, because it's 10 to 12 times easy.
Oh yeah, for sure.
For a newborn, you'll be changing a diaper. But I would agree with that. Obviously you need to have everything once you get home, and if you have a long drive home from the hospital, you might need a few things. But when the baby's born, assuming no complications, they're going to sleep 16 hours, 20 hours, something like that, in those first 2-3 weeks. So I would focus more on making sure you and the mother have things to make them feel as comfortable as possible. Bring your own pillow, especially for the mom.
Any creature comforts that you think you might need or want that you can bring with you, bring it with you.
Yeah,
they're not going to be nope, sorry, you can't bring that. Within reason, of course.
I would pack a few things for you, and then once you get home, then make sure you always have diapers, wipes, and some butt paste.
Yes.
And probably an extra change of clothes, because
and a sweet diaper
bib
bag.
They'll be spit up everywhere.
Oh, well, okay. So someone's asking, this is Rice equals Miguel. Can you make Christian stickers? I don't know exactly what that means. I'm assuming Christian faith stickers. We don't make any stickers at all, so we're not going to make any Christian stickers. I'm sorry.
There are some patches out there that are a fish or
patches.
Yeah, we don't have any on our site.
We don't. Yeah, we don't sell anything like that. I don't know we plan to either, but
unless you guys tell us in the comments that you really want stickers, but
yeah, this is something I wasn't really going to answer this question, but I think it's something that maybe you and I can kind of give some insight to, because I see this is a common theme I see of reading comments and things like that. So Midori in Chains says, it's my husband's first Father's Day this year. Can I have something to give him? I don't have any money. I'm a stay-at-home mom. And I see that a lot. I wish we could afford this, but I'm a stay-at-home mom. Or Like, just not having the money to buy it. But there's so many going back to the internet, there's so many opportunities for people to make money on the internet, especially with stay-at-home moms. We deal with a lot of stay-at-home moms that are YouTubers or this or that. And there's a lot of opportunities for influencers, or if you're a mom in a military community, if you can head up a community of other military moms and be kind of the leader of that organization and create a following, then you can start to make money as a influencer or whatever. Or my wife, for example, Poshmark, she sells clothes on Poshmark. That's her hobby. It's fun for her. She makes like, I don't know, $500 a month on the side, going to Goodwill, buying clothes, selling them. Like, you don't even have to go to Goodwill. I guarantee you got a bunch of clothes in your closet that you're not wearing, that are too small, that are too big, you've got baby clothes now to sell potentially that your kid grew out of. Like, you sell stuff online, Poshmark, eBay.
Well, there's also a lot of free stuff on Facebook, making sure you stay safe and everything else, but you can pick up stuff for free just because people don't want to move it, and then sell
it
20, 30, 40, whatever, whatever it might be.
Yeah. So anyways, I wasn't really going to go down that rabbit hole, but I want you guys to know that the opportunity of the internet allows you, just because you're a stay-at-home mom doesn't mean you can't make an income. You can very easily make money and generate some sort of revenue to do, even if it's just small things. Like, I want to get my husband a gift for Father's Day. You can make a couple bucks pretty quickly on the internet tomorrow, So anyways, I just wanted to kind of put that out there because I believe strongly in that.
Well, and kudos to you, because stay-at-home mom is.
Oh, no joke. I get it.
Parent.
I'm not downplaying that at all.
Mm-mm.
Not downplaying it. Do you have a military background? I do not. I don't. I came from the automotive industry. I've got a lot of family in the military, though. Like, my grandfather was World War II, 10th Mountain Division, badass. He's got Purple Hearts and Bronze Stars and all kinds of stuff that I actually have. I should hang those up in the office or something. My uncle was in the Navy, and I've got a bunch of family in the military. Had I not gone down I don't know that I would have done well in the military, to be honest with you, because I'm such not a rule follower, being an entrepreneur of I want to work for myself. I don't want to be told what to do. I want to do things my way. I probably wouldn't have been in the military. I was in ROTC all through high school. And anyways, I just have a super deep connection and passion for the military, and even for the U.S. as a patriotic American dude. I love this community. I think it's awesome, which is why
love this community, love this country, and just support all the men and women that
everything about
defend it, and all the first responders. And
1,000%. Will there be a Father's Day sale? Yes, there will be a Father's Day sale. If you want to get the info on that, go to the website, sign up. At the bottom of the homepage, there's this Intel list. You can sign up so you get notified immediately when the Father's Day sale goes live. It's a good place to do that. I don't know. That's it. I think I got to get going here because I've got a meeting in a little bit. So I will wrap this up. I like the questions from you guys. I think that's a good thing that we can incorporate into podcasts moving forward. So I will, I'll probably do that again. I'll put it on Instagram stories and I'll say, ask me questions for the podcast. You guys can submit questions there. We will answer them here. What else is going? Oh, the 9 Line event. Yeah. If you guys are in Savannah, Georgia area, so we're in South Carolina, Hilton Head Island area, but Savannah, Georgia, right across the river from us, on the other side of the pond. The 9 Line Apparel 5K, 10K fundraiser. It's the Run for the Wounded. It's their 6th one. They're currently building a homeless veteran. I don't know if it's homeless, but it's a veteran housing community of mini tiny homes. And I think they've built 12 so far. They've bought a bunch of land. They're building an entire community. It'll have amenities. I think they're building a pool. I don't want to say that for sure because I don't know that for sure. But it's going to be a big deal. It's really cool. They've got a bunch done. And then I think it's going to be almost transitional housing for homeless people to move on to be able to get into workplaces. And they'll provide. And they're working with Georgia Southern University, and they're going to have a program at Georgia Southern for education and really, really cool stuff. 9 Line is very impressive. The 9 Line Foundation is doing nothing but good things for that community. So we're really proud to be a supporter of that and sponsor the 5K, 10K race every year. So we will be out there. It's in Savannah, Georgia. Once again, there's links. We'll have something on the website about that. we'll have something on the website about that. So look for that there, or check it out through 9 Line Apparel. And that is going to be Saturday the 16th. Is that right? Am I saying the right date? The 18th. Saturday the 18th. If you're listening to that before this. I should have my rifle back from Dave too. Coastal Cerakote. I sent him my 300 Blackout that I had all taken apart.
Yeah.
And he picked it up and he's like, dude, just let me do something. I'll do something tactical baby gear. It'll be cool. I was like, all right, dude, I trust you. You're the bomb. So Coastal Cerakote better pull through. I think it's going to be awesome. I'm excited to see that. So I'll bring that out there probably. And anyways, anything else to say, Alex? Nothing?
No, that's it.
Awesome. Guys, thanks for listening. I appreciate it. We'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace.